Everyone's selling something. The funny part is, it takes going to potentially a third world or a second world country for us to realize this, especially living in the West. But everyone is selling something. The irony of hiding these types of things is, okay, fine, we think we have a little bit more class, we have a little bit more clout, but the reality is, oftentimes, and maybe even sometimes, the people watching these videos, we sell ourselves short in terms of what we are worth. Let me show you the Fatih Mosque before I go into the Grand Bazaar here. Well, that's not the greatest view in the world, but hey, I'm not a travel blogger anyway. So the Grand Bazaar here in Istanbul is a very busy area, as you can see, and we've already been attacked by a couple people trying to sell perfume. We got some guy trying to sell us some carpets. Sat in his place for a little while, had some tea. But it just goes to show that everyone's trying to make a livelihood out here, and you gotta do what you gotta do. And I think this is a lesson that we often miss in the West, because our parents tell us to be employees, they tell us to be hard workers, we put our head down and go for it. But the reality is, we have so many luxuries that people here don't have at all, right? Or that they're not aware of. The internet, for instance, the ability to literally sell things in mass makes it so that there is a significant amount of education that is required in order to end up selling something efficiently, right? At every corner, someone's trying to get your attention. Someone's trying to see, hey, you want some carpets? They don't even speak your language necessarily, but they just want your attention. And that's something that some of the most brilliant salesmen in the West actually go and talk about consistently. Attention garners money. And it's a difficult pill to swallow sometimes, because we want to assume that keeping our head down and staying humble in life is a better way to go about living, but it's not. We need to make a living. We need to make money in general in order to do good things. See? So there is a significant amount of research that needs to be done on our parts by virtue of having access to so much. And if you find yourself later on in life thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have money, or why don't I have the house I want, or why don't I have the life that I want, perhaps the question should be, what education am I lacking? Because at the end of the day, the difference between the people on the street that are trying to sell you things and the salesman sitting behind a computer taking videos of themselves, or having a team record videos to sell you on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, right? It's the same scheme, it's just one can scale at a significant rate, whereas the other tends to be a lifelong job of essentially trying to get people's attention. It all boils down to attention. Go anywhere in the world, and you'll see people are trying to get your attention. So, how easy are we to give our attention? If attention is money, if there's attention equals money, are we giving away our money by giving away our attention? Essentially, yes. It's the most valuable thing you have is your time. So in some ways, you're actually spending more with your time. And hopefully, you're finding these videos valuable. Really, my goal is to make it so that everyone watching these videos turns out to be a more efficient person in life. Hopefully, someone that enjoys living life more. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how much we're willing to educate ourselves. And the sad part is that in the West, oftentimes, our education seems like a risk. It seems like an investment. something that doesn't have a tangible benefit. But the reality is, education is everything. And in order... Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys.
So what
How you
kind
doing?
of material you're looking for? You can
So this is the clothing shop. We're trying to get some pillows for our downstairs here.
cut the handful of fabric, like that's the size of the loom. You just make it 6 stitch here.
The thing is, how easily are we sold? Right? And how do we determine the value of something? So I went to this carpet guy's shop and he says, okay, I have unique carpets everywhere. Well, check this out. I saw that carpet on the wall at his shop. He says it's not sold anywhere else in the world. Maybe it is. But what we need in the moment is more important. What we need at the time, at the given moment. What we believe actually has value, perceived value. That's what matters. And how do we determine the value of something? Well, it's an individual thing, right? I would say, which I've been saying for a long time in these videos, if you've given me the pleasure of your attention, you know that when it comes down to values, it comes down to goals. That's all that matters. If your goal is to go to Turkey and to spend money to buy random shit, you're gonna go and buy a bunch of random shit and you're gonna stand up at home and you're gonna realize you don't need half of it. If your goal is to go to Turkey and learn something, learn about people, learn about systems, learn about strife, learn about abuse, then you can walk away with absolutely nothing in your hand, but everything in your head. And so be it, right? Perceived value. If you want to be more pointed with your goals, the things that you are sold on, less easy to sell or be sold, you gotta have goals in mind. So when you get stuck with a salesman, and this is something I'm learning a lot recently too, which is eventually what I intend to implement into Turabify very matter-of-factly. I mean, I'm going to be pretty open about it. The reality is, there's retargeting that goes on these commercials. There's retargeting that goes on in every single media source. There's retargeting that went on to us in Turkey, on the streets. The carpet seller met us earlier. All right, fine. He meets us later, conveniently at a location that he knew we'd end up in. And you know what? We were at a shop, right? So these things happen. How do we keep a clear head in situations where we're emotionally invested in the person that is selling to us? Sleep on it. Sure. But some of the richest people in the world make decisions in the snap of a finger. What does that say? Their perceived value of something is based on their goals. If their goal is to make more money and someone is giving them a 4-week process to make more money and giving them a variety of different examples of things that have succeeded, why not? The worst that can happen is you learn something. Perceived value. So one of the main reasons actually that we ended up coming to Turkey was vacation. What is the perceived value of vacation? It depends. So there's time away from work, time away from the thing that we don't want to do necessarily, right? There's time spent with the people that we go on vacation. And now, depending on where we go on vacation, what time of year, we're gonna always fluctuate prices. We're gonna fluctuate the time that we're willing to spend to go and look for this stuff. But I will always encourage everyone that watches these Turabify videos to become as wealthy as humanly possible and have a strong enough reason that wealth won't just carry you to your vacations, it won't just buy you that nice house, but hopefully will serve humanity in a way that makes you happy at night, that allows you to sleep if, for instance, you don't buy that carpet. So hopefully you enjoyed this video here at the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. Take care of yourself. Smash that like button if you liked it. comment. What is something that you wish you bought? What is something that has the perceived value enough to be worth the knowledge to get you where you want to go? And I hope that this video convinces you to actually go and get that thing. Now, if you have a second, hopefully this video has the perceived value of your time. Actualize your potential, my friend. The world needs you. Take care.